I am so. What is happening here? So sorry. Look at my hair is still soaking wet. I completely. 1 second. Let me tell my child that I'm live. I completely forgot, y'all. Like, I don't even know. I'm a little bit. What is happening here to my life? If you hear my son, he's playing video games. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Jen. Hey, Beetle. I was in the tub. I forgot that I scheduled a live last night and I had switched things around. Hey, Sandy. Anybody I missed? Hello. And Amber and Punkette were like, because I'm a little bit sick, they were like, "Are you coming to your live?" And I was like, "What?" And then I remembered and I said, "I'm in the tub. Tell them I'll be there in 15 minutes." But it was less than 15. So then I'm in the dark because my eyes hurt. So sorry. I put my hair in the towel and everything, and I was going to come on like that. And then I'm like, um, I will one of these nights. Hey, Mel, I know, AG, I am a little bit, my kids, because I had, so let me tell you a story, y'all. I'm going to tell you some Parker stories. I had to host my mother in law's, not had, I wanted to. I hosted her party last night. She's turning 70. So I hosted the party, and it was like all week I willed the sickness away because all my family was sick. And I was like, I will not, Lord, do not let me get sick till Thursday. Okay, technically, I would have been fine if he didn't help me get sick at all. And so I fought it off. And I kid you not, I did my live last night, and around midnight, hey, cool gamer, no, later than that, like 3, I woke up and I just looked at my husband and I was like, I don't feel good. It was crazy, but next time, I guess with God, you have to be a little more specific. Here's another funny Parker story, okay? I know, Ava, thank you. I am going to try every and see if that works. Hey, Connor. So I'm going to tell you guys a story that can really only happen to me or Punkette because I could see Punkette doing this. So, oh, we're good, Amber. So I don't know if other women do this, but like, I will stick my phone, like if I'm, okay, I was going to say at the gym, but let's be real, I don't go to the gym. If I have a sports bra on or something, I'll stick my phone in my bra at home if I'm changing or something, and I'll walk around with it there. You should see when I go to the Amish place for flowers, and I because it's got my cards in it, and I pull it out of my bra. That's always kind of awkward. But because I'm constantly putting things in there, always keys, whatever, I'll put them right in there. I was lighting something yesterday, and I had my phone in one hand and the lighter in one hand, and I lit the candle, and I had to really hold it down because like the candle is like, like it gets really weird. And then all of a sudden, so the metal's very hot. I went like this and put I have no idea what just happened. Like, hey, Danielle, everything just quit on me. Am I back? Can y'all hear me? I don't even know what's happening with life right now. Tell me if you can hear me. Okay. That was the weirdest thing. All of a sudden, it just went like my computer, everything shut off. Cliffhanger. All right, back to my story. If I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. And if that happens again, then that's God's sign. I got to go to bed. So here's the lighter, and here's the phone. So I lit it right, and it was like really, really hot. And so then you can imagine what I did next. I put the lighter down my bra. I am telling you guys, I have blisters in between my boobs. Not even kidding you. Sorry for the men in here. Hey, Molson man. Not even kidding you. I screamed so loud. And now I have definitely some scabs and a little bit of blistering from just this long later. So my message for today is make sure that it's your phone you're sticking down there. It was just very funny. If y'all could have seen me run across the house, it was pretty bad. You have caught your boobs on fire. Okay, Punkette. See, I told you there's only 2 people in the world that could have things like this happen. It's me and Punkette. All right, so I don't know how long I'll be on here. Kate was doing some cleaning, so she was thinking about going live as well. But you did cut your... Oh, Amber, I'm sorry. That hurts too. Connor. So, of course it did, Punkette. That's naturally... So I want to just... I don't want to talk a lot about Quentin, but I have to ask you. Tomorrow, Danielle. So I want to tell you something about that. We haven't talked about Uvalde in a long time, but I want to tell you one thing that ended up coming out was, well, several things. But I want to watch that tomorrow, Danielle. Thanks for telling me. One thing that was interesting was that one of the officers that actually was there within the first 3 or 4 minutes, I believe, they ended up catching the on body cam. They caught the officer saying, if it was my kid, I'd be in there right now. So there's some crazy things coming out about that. Do not stick phones in your bras. Really, Mel? Wow. Okay, it can cause cancer, and it freaks the Amish people out. I love the Amish people because I get my flowers from there, but I'm telling you, there's just something about it when you pull something out of your bra that makes them go like, true story. Wow, Mel. But I'll catch that tomorrow. Thanks, Danielle, for telling me. One other question I got to ask you guys before I go on is, so am I under... My mom's friend's son went to Robb Elementary. Oh, wow, Connor. I'm so glad he wasn't one of the ones. Well, that is actually really good to know because I do it almost daily. Put it in my bra. Wow. I do. I put money all the time. I just right down there. I try not to do it like, well, no. Okay, I'm lying now. I do it all the time. Man, Connor, I'm so sorry about that. Boobs and crime right here, folks. What else are you going to get? What else are you going to get? I don't blame her, Connor. I think a lot of people did that just because there was no like actual plan in place. So it's probably not a bad decision, at least for this year. Can somebody answer me a question? Is it true that, from my understanding, that Billy Joe slipped up and said something about Leilani being a murderer or having 2 murders? Am I understanding this correctly? I'm waiting to see. She did. Okay, get off YouTube, BJ. this is what you're doing. We just watched the train wreck last night. And regardless, look, we have seen multiple contradictions with Amanda last night. That was crazy. But okay, thanks, Rebellious. But if you guys haven't heard it yet, but I'm so sorry, y'all. It's get off YouTube. This is what law enforcement is like. Hey, Britt is like, oh, my phone's gonna die. Hold on. Rebellious is sending it to me. Well, I'm sure I could find it. I don't know. My whole point is that, like, you got to get off YouTube, because this is what law enforcement wants. Part of what they want, and I believe it. Oh, Britt, it was awful. I believe that they're going to let you bury yourself, and you are burying yourself, except now you're incriminating yourself more. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. My phone's gonna die, so I'm hoping I can get this link before it dies. And there's Rebellious to the rescue. I can't talk. I got things in my boobs. It's just, hold on, y'all. I gotta see this. Hold on. Oh, while I'm talking about this, if you guys have not seen on Peacock, why would you ever name your thing Peacock? But on Peacock, there is, I think so too, Britt, a new, it's like based on a true story, and I've gotten through like episode 3, and I guess it's 9 episodes, but it's called A Family Friend, and it's based on, what's his last name? Robert Belcher or Bolter or something. It is wild. It is wild. All right, let's go watch this. It is I couldn't stop watching it today. So I just want to hear this, y'all, because I have heard about this. Whoa. Okay, let's just watch this really quick. Oh, I can't wait, AG, to tell you. We're going to talk about that too. Yep. All you guys right. Yep. There's something. Yeah, like why would you name your, like, there's no, I mean, I get Peacock's an animal, right? But is there not a better name than Peacock? I mean, hey, do you subscribe to the cock? I mean, just, come on. All right, here we go.
It's like,
are you sure you don't want to?
My body and my mind. It's like my body and my mind is a constant war. I want to should live or die. And
man, you're not doing that. Come on, baby girl. Please.
I'm tired.
I know you're tired.
People talk about me like I'm an active addiction.
You're not.
I'm not. I fought hard to get out of that.
Fucking drugs going on here. Period.
I fought fucking hard.
You're gonna keep fighting hard. You're gonna keep fighting hard, and that's all there is to. You don't have an option to give up. There ain't no giving up, baby.
They need you.
I might not be good enough.
You're good enough. You're good enough.
You're good enough.
You gotta give yourself grace,
I feel
baby.
like I'm in the middle of a Louise moment.
You're being too hard on yourself.
You're right. She is. She is. That is. Yes, ma'am. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
You're not responsible for any of this that's happening, Billy. You're a victim, and I like
Oh,
honestly,
shit.
that there was more I could do for you. I want to wrap you in my arms. I pray for you every good night.
I feel like a failure.
Think she needs you.
No, you're not a failure. You have done
No,
so
baby.
much.
Finally, you took a little bit of acknowledgement. A failure.
Yeah, no,
You haven't failed those kids.
I appreciate all of that. From
Hey, Jameson.
And And I love that you're saying this.
Schools telling her otherwise.
She needs help with, you can't help her. She's gonna have to find that in herself.
This next part, the lady tells Billy Joe how much love and support Leilani has out there. Puke.
Not for me.
God's gonna
Yes,
give her
Tammy.
right
She's got to find it in herself. But I want her to know
God.
how much support and love. She has a lot of support and love.
and you gotta keep praying.
But how does God give me two murderers? How? How does God do that to me? How? How?
Uh-oh, you admit you
I
just
got
admitted it.
two
God damn it.
murderers. You know,
Billy Joe, did you just admit you got 2 murderers? Bingo
Sarah.
card. I'm done. I ain't gotta hear nothing else. Take a walk.
Oh, sorry, that guy's
Nope.
funny. Well,
Unfortunately,
So-
she's recognized.
I didn't anticipate that then. Well then. Yeah, so I will agree there. I hear pain in her voice. I do. Hey Gladys, do I blame her for things? Absolutely. But she's in pain. Hey Bexy, in pain. I just wish that if I could talk to her, I would say, Billy Joe, I do believe you're in pain. I very much believe you're in pain. And I would like, how can we help get you into therapy to deal with this, away from Leilani, just focus on your self-care to deal with losing your grandchildren. But you should be off YouTube for the sake of the investigation, for the sake of your grandson, like just for the sake of it all, because it's going to be a long road for her. And I just really feel like, I don't know, if I could, if I could tell her anything, it would just be like, we understand you're hurting. We do. Do we have mixed emotions? I think, at least me, absolutely. Did God give you 2 murderers? No, God did not give you two murderers. I think that family has like a history of trauma, and we are a product of our environment a lot of times, and Mel, that's highly possible. That's highly possible. But the more she's taught, if she ever wants to see her other grandkids again, she needs to get off of here. It won't be anytime soon. I don't believe that she'll see her grandkids, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to see anybody in that type of pain. And I don't believe Leilani is in any pain. I believe that Billy Joe's in pain, and I don't know, like, does it make sense, like, that once again, Billy Joe is, I don't know if it's because Leilani is the only girl or what, that, I don't know. It's just really, but I hope that somebody cares about her enough to say enough is enough. And in fairness, Queen Bee did not invite Billy Joe on panel. She just grabbed the link. So as far as Amanda goes, she contradicted herself. Oh my gosh, we'll talk about that. Hey, Gregory. So this is an impromptu live because I'm gonna have to change the title because I am doing the girls, Evansdale. I'm gonna switch that to tomorrow, but yeah, Amber, I do think you're right. You're right, Ava. You're right. You're right, LFT. And listen to me, I am in no way, shape, or form defending Billy Joe, because if anything, I think we all know my stance on Billy Joe. With that being said, I do believe she's in pain. I really do believe she's in pain. And I believe that she doesn't really have many people. And I believe that the people she does have right now are not leading her in the right direction. So yeah, I am, Britt. It's just tomorrow I'm getting like, I want to get it's been so crazy this week, and tomorrow everybody has off, so I want to get side-by-side comparisons, because when I do this, I want to do it right. So let's talk about Casey Anthony for a minute, because I am mind blown right now. I just read a post that said, I read this yesterday and I didn't think it was possible whatsoever. There's two things I want to talk about tonight, though, y'all. I want to talk about Casey Anthony, but I also want to talk about the documentary, not the based on the true story thing that I'm watching on Peacock. I don't know why I can't say that without laughing. I'm such a child in so many ways. The guy is never charged, and my mind is blown. So we're going to talk about that. Tonight's just kind of a whirlwind ADD type of thing. But so somebody said Casey Anthony is out of jail because law enforcement did not understand Firefox. I just want to make sure I have the correct wording that she put, or that they put, and I was blown away. Why is there things from Casey Anthony in November 2012? Where is it? I had it up yesterday. Does anyone remember what the exact wording was? So essentially, yeah, so Casey Anthony is coming out. She's breaking her silence now on this Peacock thingy majigger. And she was Danielle. So allegedly, they missed evidence on her computer. What is that link? I've got to find it because it came out yesterday. Hold on, let me try one more search. It couldn't just be gone. That is weird. It's all of a sudden gone. I just saw it yesterday. Okay. It says that. Wait a minute. What year did she pass away? Yeah, so she Googled chloroform. And y'all knew that she was living with the private investigator for the defense team at one point. I don't know if she still is working for him. So what year did Casey, okay, so this came from 2011, but it says that they missed, but this just came out though. I just saw it was released. There was stuff released yesterday that said they missed something on her computer that, oh, I know where I found it. Okay, hold on. I'm coming, guys. On her computer, they missed a search. Human arm found Saturday morning. Okay, hold on. Focus, Parker. Focus. What is she talking? What does she have to say that any of it? It's very interesting now that she's coming forward, now that she wants to. Oh, here we go. Fun fact, the only reason Casey Anthony is free today is because the authorities didn't know what Firefox was when they searched her computer. She literally Googled foolproof suffocation the day she murdered her 2-year-old daughter. Wow. Wow. Oh, is this the okay. I'm hold on one second. I'm pretty shocked. All right, let's just watch this. Let's see what happens here. How about I share my screen with you guys so you don't have to sit here and just watch me watch something. Like I can't handle these people. What is happening? Okay, let's watch this real quick. I'm sure you've all seen it, but
Casey interview, A, B, C marker, saw sticks.
why don't I see? Oh, there's Gen 8. Oh, here
Why
come the
talk to me
waterworks.
now when you're not getting creative control?
I know, Molson.
Casey interview, A, B, C marker, saw sticks.
Oh, really? She doesn't? I wondered if.
Why talk to me now when you're not
That's
getting
it.
creative control?
That's our spoiler. Wow. Okay, so what do you think her purpose is of, I'm not sure, Ava. I'm not sure if it was thrown out, but there was a really good, what do you think her purpose is of coming forward now after all of these years? Because allegedly she is not, allegedly they said that she is not getting paid for this. I'm trying to find that article. So I'm just curious what you think the reasoning of her coming out right now would be. Wow. Attention. Yeah, there's no way that, I mean, even if she's not making money from Peacock. Yeah, exactly, S. Hockett. Yeah, and she claims she's not getting money, but I don't know. I mean, she was living with the like, who does that? And I was just wondering, like, if she has any relationship whatsoever with her parents anymore. I mean, there's one other thing I needed to send myself. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious if y'all know if she still talks to her family. I can't imagine she talks to her family. Yeah, that's right, Ava. So that is what people were saying. They're saying, she's not getting paid for so she's not she's not getting paid for the interview. George Anthony severed ties with her, but Cindy still talks to her every once in a blue moon. It's something with those Cindy mothers that can't. Her mom always. I've never covered this case. To be quite honest, I might have to jump into it because this is wild. I think I think it's wild because we have a case that's similar. Hey, Pamela, similar to this right now. That is, well, in the media. I did know she tried to blame her dad. Oh, man. So I want to show you something else too. So I think I might have to get into this. I mean, I don't know. Is anybody interested in it? I mean, I know like, what? Are you kidding me? A California mega church leader and her parents have been arrested on charges including murder and torture in the death of an 11-year-old. Okay, I can't get on that right now. You guys are really good sports hanging with me tonight on my night of ADD, no preparation. Bergtold, okay. I don't know. I was just seeing that. I mean, I would love to cover it. It's just, you know, I don't want people to be like, oh, you're just, but I mean, because I don't know a ton about it, other than I remember she was also saying her dad might have done some stuff. But I think since it's coming out, it might be actually a really good time to kind of get away from, you know, just kind of start digging into it. And also, you know, being able to compare a little bit about what's going on now. And so I think I'm going to look into it because this is going to be pretty wild, because it will be cool to look at cool. What did I just say? Cool to look into it and then go like, what is she saying that exactly, Jen, that's contradicting before? I just don't know what causes these people to come out with these things, like to come out like, okay, so Casey comes out now because she wants to share her story after 11 years. Money, she's probably out of money. And then like, yes, like an what then and what now. And then we've got somebody who's currently, Leilani, going through something which we consider or is probably similar. We've got Megan Boswell. So these women are all very similar. So what are they like? I don't know. What are we hearing? It's the same thing. It's just bizarre. And what brings like, you know, Billy Joel, what makes anybody think that it's a good idea? Like Amanda Bearden, you couldn't have thought that that was going to help your situation. Mega church founded and led by a foot. That's what I saw, Ava. But I know if I go down that right now, I'm going to. Oh, 100%, Britt. She's always loved the spot. I think you're right. She must just really love. I remember, you know, like I don't remember a ton about it, but I just remember everybody flipping out when she was found not guilty. And now, wait a minute. So she could essentially come on this thing and say whatever she wants to say. She could come out right now and say, yes, I did it. And she couldn't be charged. Is that right? Am I thinking correctly? Hey, Tia. Am I getting the law right? Oh, really, Connor? Because that's almost a little bit nauseating if that's the case. I think so, because what is that called? Isn't that... You're right, Molson. Oh, my gosh. So she's got nothing to lose. She did, Pamela. Allegedly. That's right, Amber. Oh, my goodness. You know, it's almost like, do these people think that they like, do they almost get off a little bit on saying like, you guys can't charge me. Yeah, I mean, picture Leilani, right? Of how smug she was in her interview, how smug we've seen her when Billy Joe's breaking down all that kind of stuff. Now imagine she gets away with it, which I don't think she's going to, but say she gets acquitted or something. Now picture her in 11 years, like Casey Anthony, just kind of like all smug because she can't be charged. I bet you she could be charged with a child endangerment for sure. That's pretty wild to me. Wow. Yeah, you're true. True. And I mean, I can't imagine for her own safety that she would come out and say that. But it's just interesting because what is she gonna say? It just doesn't. That's what I think too, S. Hackett. You know, from what I saw, just a little bit of the trial and stuff, it was very much blaming Dad. I think it was her all along. And I think that I can't imagine she's stupid enough to put that out there. You think so, Molson Man? Yeah. I don't know, Amber. That's true, Danielle. I mean, yeah. OJ's one thing, but this is going to be, it'll be very interesting to go through this, you know, especially with what's going on right now with Quentin and stuff. True, Amber. Well, and poor Quentin, y'all, just a side note, I live in New York and we're supposed to get 2 inches of rain tomorrow. Georgia and Florida and stuff, they're getting so much rain. And now it's like with that amount of rain, the chances of that baby with those storms coming through being found now, I think are just even slimmer than it was before. And yeah, she's managed to stay well hidden with the private investigator of the defense team. So weird. Yeah, she's clearly just out of money. She's clearly. Oh my gosh, Danielle. I just really don't think, y'all, that they're going to find him. Oh. Yeah, I know. We're all feeling the same way. I almost just exited out of. Oh, hold on one second. Let me click pause before this starts playing. Okay. Yeah, West Palm Beach. Oh, so she retired to West Palm Beach. I guarantee you she needs money. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to dig into this. You're right, Pamela. That's really good. We just have to, right. I mean, people keep saying that he could be anywhere. And yes, he could very well be anywhere. But I'd have to see hard evidence that he's not there because I believe that there's hard evidence law enforcement has that he is. On the body cam from the bar, she said she was dating at. Oh, well, that is just awesome, S. Hackett. That is just awesome. And one thing I wanted to mention, too, about Amanda Bearden before I forget. So I know the big thing was she said that her and Andrew had been cleared. She can say she's cleared all she wants, but we have gotten no notification from law enforcement that she's been cleared. I know. I'm sorry, Jen. That interview was, I mean, wasn't that interview where you just sat there like with your mouth hung open because it was such a train wreck? It's just such a train wreck. It was like as much of a train wreck as me jumping out of the tub to go to my live that I was late for. It was nuts. Okay, so this is my other thing that I'm watching that you guys need to catch up on. Molson Man, I know. So Molson Man and I had really good dialogue about it last night. Well, everybody in here had really good dialogue about it. But hey, Punksy, you know, he was just saying like law enforcement, this is gold to them. So she kept saying that the that they sent it to the FBI. This is Amanda, that the Georgia sent it to the FBI so they can dot their I's and cross their T's before they make the announcement that it was, you know, self-inflicted. Okay. Usually law enforcement doesn't have to send it away to the FBI for a second time to do all of that. So I don't know. So the series I'm watching, the interview last night, it gave everybody anxiety. So who was it in chat? I can't remember. That was like, I'm officially having secondhand embarrassment for her. The hair is just, when she told Andrew not to talk to her again. And then when she got angry and threatened Sandy Todd, whoever that is, it was a train wreck. Okay, so the series I'm watching right now that I started today is called A Friend of the Family. The girl that plays Jan, I'll read you a little bit about the story. The girl that plays the girl that was kidnapped said during the movie she almost wanted to vomit because it was just so gross and so horrible to be in this character. So A Family Friend is about a man, it's a true story, that had an obsession on Jan Broberg, who was a 12-year-old. So between 1972 and 1976, make sure, that's what I figured, it was her aunt. Yes. S. Hockett, watch my live from last night. It was Amanda Bearden spoke, Debbie Collier's daughter. Yeah. Yeah, y'all had me dying in here. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, if you want me to, Jen. AWPs. I absolutely will. So there was somebody in my chat, y'all, that I ended up, and I'm going to be completely honest, blocking. Well, one, he said bad things about Kate, and yeah, you don't do that at all. And he, hold on, I'm jumping around. I want to answer Jen's question. I'll jump back to this. He, no one is going to be a victim in my chat. What I mean by that is no one, let me rephrase that. No one is going to be re-victimized in my chat. And so I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman, or whatever. If you come in and start victimizing somebody or calling even somebody we're talking about, like we were talking about the sister and of Jared, the sister and the cousin, and you come in and start saying they're lying and it's all about money and stuff, I'm going to block you. Because I had a chat full of people that were like almost re-traumatized by this gentleman coming in and doing that. That's not acceptable. And the reason I did, and you know what, I was in the wrong, because the reason I didn't immediately block him was because I thought he was somebody like a friend of Kate. So I was going to talk to her about it after. But I was messaging with her and she's like, no, I'm at my wit's end with him. And then I found out he was saying bad things about her. And then he came in last night and started again. And so we just blocked him. Like, I should have done it from the get-go. And so I immediately, told my mods to block him. But yeah, no one should ever have to feel like that at all in here. Like, you don't exactly, Connor, like allegedly came up on panel and he was so respectful. He said, I'm not going to comment on it because when I do, I have to make my stance. Like, as a male, he was basically telling us it's wrong. Like, this is wrong, but I respect somebody coming in like that, coming into my chat and re-traumatizing somebody by calling victims a liar. No, it ain't happening. I don't even care if a woman does that. And then he was being disrespectful. And then once I found out he was saying bad things about Kate, yeah, hey, Red Rock. I want women to know that they're worth more, because there's so many, Country Boy, I'm just going to say his name. I don't care because he's probably bashing me all over anyways. I want women or men to realize that the men in our community, most of them, are saying, ladies, this is wrong. Like, this is wrong what happened. And so I want women to feel worth more than what they feel, you know, like the ones sticking up for AWP or whatever. And yeah, and then I found out he was mean to Beatlemaniac too, and that was, but I have been encouraged by a lot of the guys in our community that have said, like, yeah, no, this is not okay, guys. This is not okay. So my thoughts on AWP. So I did see that the sister came forward and said, my cousin did not know about the money because she asked for the GoFundMe and she was going to take it down or something. The cousin was adamant that she wants nothing to do with any money. He's a devil-eyed Elvis. He's a weirdo, and I'm definitely his favorite person. The cousin, I believe, is in this for, so I can't say that the sister's not in this for the right reasons. I think she is so wounded and so hurt by her family. I think the cousin wants justice, and she's willing to do that on her own financially. And, you know, I think Jared is a hot mess. I think that his life is, I mean, ruined. I mean, he's not, maybe not, but to come back from this, I wouldn't give him the time of day. Everyone that has left and resigned, I have felt have been sincere. I think that I think that they were probably told, exactly, Jen. So my uncle has a good saying, I can't remember how it goes, but it's good, about like, don't put somebody on a pedestal so high that they can't survive the fall. And it's kind of what happened. So Nick resigned. His was really like, Nick resigned. I don't remember the camera guy's name, but he resigned. And I think somebody else resigned. Mine too, Red Rock. Well, other than Jared. But the cameraman and Nick's, the interviews I saw, and they like were pretty much flat out. Josh, I don't know about Doug. Doug kind of resigned and not so. So there's something with I think there's something with the contract and stuff he's working out. But if he doesn't resign, he'd be foolish. But Josh and the cameraman, not Doug and not Peter. Well, okay. Carson and Josh. Okay, so I felt like they were extremely passionate when they talked. They said, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I got daughter and stuff. And they were like, there is no question. We're gone. They have mad respect in that. What I think they were told, in my person, I don't know about Doug, but what I think those two were told, those two individuals at least that I've seen the interviews, I think they were told by Jared that he was 12. I think that the entire situation was dumbed down completely, not dumbed down, but watered down to make them believe that it was like this little, you know, like, oh, we experimented. I was 12. She was, you know, type of thing. And then I thought so too, Jen. And then this came out and I think it rocked them. I believe that they were, at least those two, lied to in some way. And I think that they are pretty rocked. I think if they can stay as sincere as they were in those interviews, that they'll be fine. Because I would 100% support them. Yeah, and I know, Jen. You know, Jared, I think it speaks for himself. I mean, it's not like his record was squeaky clean before this incident either. So, yeah, because that's the thing, Beatlemaniac. I feel like if Oh, right, S. Hockett, yeah. Yeah, it's not even really a case, Molson Man. It's more just like, it was just that people did put him on such a pedestal, but if they knew the facts and are selling us BS, then they are really good at selling us the BS because they seem sincere, those two guys. I can't get a read on Doug. I don't know at this point. I think Nick just finished up his training. That was just, Kylie was his first case, and he's kind of like, what just happened? Because he also just said that they still have 30 episodes of different cases. Exactly, Jen. None of us have squeaky, but this is a bit much. Exactly. Mal, yeah, from hero to zero. Exactly. I think if he was dishonest with his friends, he sure threw them to the wolves. Like, just was like, hey, by the way, boom, I'm gone. Allegedly, people are saying that he and his wife knew and she supports him and all that, but who knows, you know? I think Richard Allen still thinks his wife supports him, so you never know. Tony's interview was really good. I'll have to, okay. You know, I would like to see him be able to make it on their own. Oh yeah, Devil Eyed, 100%. I was not a fan. That was my first case with them, and yeah. And don't you wonder though how much Jared contributed to that little grift? I don't know, but it would be really hard because they have a lot. Like, Jared owns everything, and I know he stepped away from the CEO, but that equipment and stuff, who owns that equipment? You know, and I'm sure they could raise enough to get more, but it's definitely going to be hard to start again. It was the work that was on a pedestal, though. In his mind, he could have been trying to do a good to cover the baddest. Was, yeah, S. Hockett, you're right. And that's actually a really good point. And that was my point with Kylie. Like, if we can separate what they do from who they are, then we'll be in good shape, because what they do is amazing. How they respond afterwards was different. And so if we can separate with their work is amazing, but what Jared did was horrible. Allegedly did was horrible. Yeah, exactly, Devil Died. No one knows what happened to the AAA guy. He's gone off and I don't know. You know, so it's kind of like, and that really, somebody said that to me and I can't remember it. I was like, that's a really good point. We're not saying that we don't. And everyone says, well, they're innocent until they're proven guilty. And I saw somebody else say this, and this is true as well. I'm not the jury. Like, I'm not sitting in on his trial, and I'm not a judge. So I can 100% say I've seen all I need to see in those emails. And that was the other thing that Country Boy said, was that the emails were fake. Well, they were not fake because they came directly from the AWP support email address. Yeah, exactly, S. Hockett. Ava, you know, and that's what allegedly said. Allegedly was extremely candid, and is a male, and he came up and he said, you know, that Kylie for me is what changed it, because they had made some promises to air certain things, and all of a sudden they weren't being aired, and they had excuses, and then they were behind the members only, and there was all these things, and that he was like, wait a minute, you, like, this isn't what it's about. And so a lot of people said that, and yeah. And I don't know if it's because the first high profile current case they did or what. Yeah, I wonder that too, Ava, because Jared was kind of, you know, out of the woodwork at that point, or not out of the woodwork. They just said he had stepped away a lot. So that's Doug, Molson Man. Yes, I know there's some rumors going around about Doug. I don't know much about him other than his one interview, and I wasn't like overly impressed with that interview. I think he kind of resigned. I think he's got some legal things going on, but I wish he would have acknowledged the victims more like the other ones did. But again, he might have been shell shocked as well. But for me, the Kylie case was the first time I'd ever even heard of them. I don't know how, but it was. And then I was like, the aftermath was just what I wasn't okay with. Yeah, it is a really sad situation. And I agree with S. Hockett. I don't think that they will ever be redeemed as AWP. They have to start new. Yeah, Nick quit his job for his dream job. And you can tell he's shaken up, you know, for sure. He's a little bit like, now what? Now what do I do? Yeah, Red Rock, for sure. There's several people that have said that Jared kind of gave them a creeps a little bit, like just from his, you know, we all have pasts, but when you continue to do the same type of thing over and over again, that's when it's kind of messed up. And so we're in this chat here the other night, like, you know, a lot of really heavy topics are being talked about and heavy, you know, details and stuff. And then that guy comes in and we were like, what? Yeah. I felt like Nick was about ready to cry. And I felt like the cameraman was so angry. And I felt like they were both very angry. And so that's why I felt like it was pretty sincere, because they looked very betrayed. Yeah, I know, Connor. I know. They really did, Jen. They really did. I had a very unpopular opinion in the Kylie case. I just didn't like how it was handled afterwards. But looking back, like Jared wasn't even there, they said. So now, like, what? Now, like afterwards, he started doing interviews, you know, which was just weird if he wasn't even there during the. It's just weird all around. I mean, how confident could you be that this will never come up when you're all over the media? Right, S. Hockett, exactly. Oh, Carson's the cameraman. Okay. They did, Mel. I'm gonna, yeah. Somebody was saying Doug could be in some sort of a non-compete as well. But my thing with that is I've been in non-competes before. And what a non-compete means is like I can't take current clients that I have that I've signed up over to a new company. Well, I'm pretty sure that, you know, like they're not going to they're not going to take Josh as the cameraman. Okay. They're not going to take the same. I mean, they can't really do the same cases over again with a different company unless some family has a tragic second vehicle. So I'm not really sure what a non-compete would be an issue in this situation. I know, right, S. Hockett? Josh is the cameraman. Okay. He did Beatlemaniac. And that's why I wondered if that was intentional. If he did that intentionally. I know, right, Jen? Exactly. True, Pamela. I wondered if he did that intentionally to take the heat off of him. That's true, Ava. Good point. So I've heard that Devil died, and that's why I've wondered if he's not making that break yet. And I noticed that Nick said some of the guys, I bet those two that at least that we've seen will be very selective in who they go forward with. Nick was clearly distraught over that, you know, I think anybody would be finding a young girl when he found Kylie, you know. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a tough situation. I feel for Jared's daughters. How many does he have? One daughter or two daughters? That's true, Jen. That is a very good point. Oh, the Watts case. Okay, so hold on. You've got to hear this, guys. This Robert Berchtold, because I need you to watch this. So this guy, between 1972 and 1976, he groomed Jan Broberg, and he abducted her twice. Once at the age of 12 and a second time when she was 14. Okay. Broberg and her mother, Marianne, first spoke on Berchthold's abuse in their book Stolen Innocent, the Jan Broberg story. So I've watched enough of it where I can kind of give you a idea of what this is about. Let me just, hold on. Worked defending him, saying that he was a whore. Oh my gosh, Punkette. Yeah. So they were family friends. They were part of the Mormon church, and they were family friends. And so like they became this Robert became obsessed with, let me just see if I can read the actual article because it's easier. This is so weird. So Berchtold kidnapped Jan Broberg in October 1974 under the pretense that he was taking her to go horseback riding. Now, this is after check this out. This is after a 2-year relationship where their families were like friend in the family, and abducted in plain sight, both on the same story. Same case. So they were such good friends, and he was so manipulative, this Robert Berchtold, that he not only had an affair with the mom, but he had an affair with the dad. No lie. He convinced the dad to do things with him. And then he convinced the mom to do things with him. He could get them to literally do anything. So the dad would like question him and all this kind of stuff. And he would get upset. But somehow this Robert always could get his way with them. And now Robert had a wife and boys, all boys. It's wild. So he takes Jan at 12 years old. He takes her, tells them he's going horseback riding, escapes with her to allegedly like a mobile home, ends up in Mexico, convinces Jan he gives her what's called, they say he was giving her like allergy medication for horses, but like he was drugging her with stuff. Takes her and convinces her. Okay, so let me read this part. Explained in the documentary that she had been drugged. Upon waking, she was made to believe that she was given a mission by aliens, and that in order to protect her family, she had to embark on a relationship with a male companion and to have his children before she was 16. Jan Broberg's family did call the police, and the FBI took control of the case. However, it's important to note that the wife kind of knew, the wife of Robert kind of knew what was going on. I think he had done it before or something similar. So she had like convinced them not I don't know what is happening here. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay, wait, Red Rock, hold on. I want to make sure I don't offend anybody. We are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, people who hated murder and stole from us, named us that. We tried to embrace the name for less. Okay, I'm so sorry. Red Rock, what is the, because I don't want to like, yeah, trigger you for sure, or not trigger you. I was looking at trigger warning. But I had to come back because I could not. Oh, wow, rebellious. I could not take it anymore. I have to tell you the rest of the story. Okay. So this Robert Buckholder takes her, kidnaps her, tells her that she's been abducted by aliens. So here's the rest of it. The reason that the FBI was basically her mother or his wife convinced the family not to call for a few days. So after they, listen to this, after they returned home, Broberg's family, which is Jan's family, did not pursue legal action because they were blackmailed by Berchtold's wife, Gail, who claimed the family would air the dirty laundry between her husband and Bob Broberg. They explained in the documentary. So I know, right? So what they were, because Jan's dad was a leader in the church at that point, and so what the wife said, Robert Berchtold's wife said that if they pressed charges or followed through with charges, even though he had been missing with her for a long time, that they would announce and tell the church that he did stuff with, that Jan's dad did stuff with Robert. Oh, he was so calculated. So they don't then pursue charges for this. This is insane. Oh, here's a part of the story I left out. When he was in Mexico, they were gone for 5 weeks. He married her. I'm not even lying, you all. He married her. He had 2 people go because he had her birth certificate. He had taken from the home. He had 2 people go and pretend to be them, and he married her. And so when they came home, the police handed them the marriage license. So then they didn't pursue the legal action. Berchtold had entered into, well, that's what they threatened, a relationship with Bob. And later, after that, did the same thing with Marianne, which is the mother. The Brobergs issued a letter stating that they would not take legal action against Berchtold, and they said the kidnapping was a misunderstanding. This is kidnapping 1. So kidnapping 1 is they decided to not press charges and said it was a misunderstanding that he married their daughter and was gone for 5 weeks. Okay. Berchtold then, okay, the man that kidnapped their daughter continued to see the family, and he also kept grooming Jan, who explained in the documentary that she began to believe she was in love with him and wanted to marry him for real. He kidnapped her a second time in 1976 and enrolled her in a school under a false name, claiming he was her biological father and a CIA agent. When the FBI found Jan Broberg and brought her home a second time, she continued to believe it was her mission to be with Berchtold and have his children. But upon turning 16, she realized that her family was safe and that she had been lied to. It was then that she told her family about the abuse she suffered at his hands. So he was accused of kidnapping her twice and SAing her, but he was never charged with these crimes. He spent 1 year in prison for SA of one child after his encounters with Broberg. So after he kidnapped this girl twice, he then went on to do something to another child and spent 1 year in prison. When Jan and her mother released their book, she went to court to get a restraining order against Berchtold, who filed a lawsuit against them and publicly said the book was not true. Okay, there's more. Jan Broberg was granted the injunction for the remainder of Berchthold's life. Okay, well, that's good. Berchtold went to several of Jan Broberg's talks about her book, and one, he encountered a group of bikers, the Bikers Against Child Abuse, with whom he had a physical altercation. On November 11, 2005, he was charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm. Found guilty, he then took his own life before he was sentenced. And in the documentary, his brother says he did not want to return to prison. So can somebody please tell me how a man can kidnap a girl twice and never be charged? Well, for one, because the parents, so this is so wrong. The parents worried more about, the father worried more about his image than he did protecting his daughter. So not only did he never go to jail, y'all, this happened 1972 to 1976. He stalked her then, tried to file a lawsuit against them, and then went on to do something to another child. And then spent 1 year in prison, but then took care of himself after an assault thing because he didn't want to go back to jail. I just, if you get a chance to watch this, I don't know if it's because the legal system was the way it is or was back then, because the second time I'm not quite understanding why he wasn't brought, why he didn't do time for that. But if you haven't watched this, this is definitely one to look into before Casey Anthony thing, because this is really, really wild. I was just mind blown. And then when I found out he never got brought up on charges for either of those, talk about re-victimizing a victim to continue to go to her book things. Like, can you imagine? She's sitting here signing books, talking, yeah, fairly right, talking about her books, and in comes the perpetrator that kidnapped you twice and made you believe that you were you were sent by aliens. And he's allowed to, he's in your book signings and stuff. Like, imagine being there as a person that's getting her signed, and all of a sudden, oh, hey, there's the guy in the book. It is, Connor. It is very disturbing. And Jen, you're right. It is very disturbing because up to 2011, which is just over 10 years ago, he still hadn't done any time. And I have some serious issues with that. And, part of the parents, part of when I'm watching this, I think of, Jared's sister, because she says, how much her mom shamed her, how much her mom was like, well, my abuse was worse, so you need to forgive him and stuff. And that's kind of what we saw in here, was that, well, look, I can't deal with what might come out about me within the church. So, what happened to my daughter was a misunderstanding for 5 weeks. That is insane. She was 12. So from 12 to 16, she thought she was being raised by aliens and was supposed to be his companion. In fact, the first time she came back, she thought she was pregnant. It's just bizarre. So that's called A Friend of the Family if you get a chance to watch that. But sorry, y'all, I've been really all over the place this live, and then, you know, my computer backing out. But I think I'm going to look into Casey. I think I'm going to talk about Casey Anthony some too. But, you know, there's a lot of cases right now to talk about. And I think we can have a pretty decent conversation about Jared in a respectful way that's not too traumatizing for people. As long as I'm just going to be more firm in blocking if somebody comes in here with that garbage again. Beetle, wait, I miss all these birthday celebrations. But all right, y'all, I'm going to hop off of here. And I will probably be on tomorrow, or Kate might. She said she was good. I'm hoping she'll go live tomorrow. Yeah, Jen, exactly. Everyone knows Casey Anthony got away with it. I just more want to like look at, we know she got away with it. I would just like to go over the like details around the case, since that's, I think so, Molson Man. I would rather do it now than jump on the bandwagon when it comes back up. What does this have to do with LDSers? No, Red Rock, not at all. He was a part of the LDS church. So he was saying that the LDS would shun him. Thanks, Connor. Would shun him if this came out. So they made kind of a big deal of it. But that's it at all. Other than that, I don't know. This is just what his part was, that how they blackmailed him was by saying that they would tell the LDS church. But I think, like, I mean, with any, you know, any church you're in, that could be the same thing. So, and yes, all faiths have those type of people. Every crowd in America has that type of people. Absolutely, Molson Man. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.